Go.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Generic Anime Podcast, where we once again did things to our other's favorite things. Not that kind of things.
Huh?
It's becoming
We
a
did the movie
series
episode
here.
a couple of episodes back, and we figured that it could be fun if we watched each other's favorite films. So that's exactly what we did today, and we're gonna have a quick conversation about what we thought about each other's favorite films.
Mm-hmm.
The films were my favorite was The Nun because I thought Kurosawa's films would be too fucking hard to find, and I wasn't sure if Speedy could handle Annabelle Homecoming. Speedy's favorite
no.
was the original Italian Job from 1960. I want to say 69.
I think it's 68.
Anyway, the original
Special
60s
number.
Italian Job. Animate was the first Spider-Man film. The first. Is it the first like actual live action?
I think there was an
Spider-Man film ever?
older one.
If we don't count the 70 versions,
Yeah.
the 70 series, yes.
It's the one with that spawned Bully
Japanese
McGuire in the third and it's iteration. And the consumer's
the
favorite
iconic.
was Bully McGuire. Great, of
Yeah.
course, fairly topical now with Shikanoko no Konoko Kostan.
Yeah.
Chica
And
noko 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 gosh dun dun.
dun.
And consumer's favorite was the only anime film on the list, being
Yeah.
Princess Mononoke.
He's
one
a
of
real
the greatest
weeb.
Ghibli films.
Bro's a real weeb.
Yeah,
I mean, everything's an anime if you really think about it.
that is true.
Oh,
You really think about it.
okay.
Everything is a JoJo's reference.
If you
Yes.
really think about it, yeah.
So, which
I had
movie
a
do we
funny
want to
thing to say, but I
go on?
forgot.
Oh,
I
never
had something
mind then.
funny to say about like
Really?
if that's anime that's right, Tom and Jerry movie that could be counted as an anime.
Well, technically, if we go that route, Shrek can be counted as an anime. So
Yes, and the Minions could be counted as an anime.
Oh my-
Top
Did you
10
guys know
anime
that
of all time, I would say the Minions.
Top 10
God.
anime of all time: Wally and the Minions.
Did you guys know that Shrek is actually based on a book?
Yes,
Yes,
know.
I actually found that out
It's a
recently.
really obscure book. Everyone found
Yes.
out when the author of the original book died because was it Pixar never gave any like credits to the original
Yes.
author. Also, the Shrek book is fucking weird.
Mm.
But
Looks
that's
like
not today's
demonic
topic.
From the few pictures
Yeah,
I've seen.
there's like Shrek eating lightning and everything.
It's like,
But I think like they did like the first version of Shrek before like they released the movie. It was supposed to be a little bit more close to the
Yeah,
book version, but then the
Less
kids
friendly.
were
Less
scared
friendly.
and they
Yeah.
were like,
Less
let's
friendly,
just
yeah.
do something completely different.
It's
Yeah,
like the Pixar version versus like the actual Germanic tale of the fairy
Yes.
tale. Well,
yeah,
fairy
that's
tale.
that's the like standard with Disney and Pixar films versus the original like Brothers Grimm stuff.
Mm.
Yeah.
But yeah, we watched movies. Which movie do we want to start with?
Let's do chronological order.
All right.
Okay, so we're starting from the oldest or the newest one.
Yeah, oldest one.
Okay.
Oldest one. So Speedy's movie.
Okay, so Speedy is the first.
Yeah.
Speedy, tell us
haven't-
the synopsis of the Italian Job.
So basically, Italian Job is some British guy gets released from prison to then go and rob some some gold in Italy with three different Mini Coopers,
Yeah.
and then they drive, and half the movie is them driving.
It's
I would say
drive.
half is driving. I would say like
yeah, it's
a third or a quarter.
it's
Is that-
essentially a
I know-
60s Ocean's 11.
Yeah.
Ooh, I was
I
gonna
like
do
this
it. I was
movie a
gonna say
lot.
that.
With a whole lot of oi
Ah.
bruv.
Yeah, boy, bro,
but
it's very
Speedy,
British.
I wanted to ask you because like I kind of can understand like consumers' love for Mononoke, cheese love for the Nun, but like I wouldn't get you for a guy that like his favorite movie would be The Italian Job. Like what in that movie makes it like your favorite movie?
Honestly, actually, that didn't make sense, but the actual reason why
Actually.
it the reason why I like this movie so much is more of like a sentimental thing.
Mm.
Because
I
me and my granddad, we watched this film when I was very young, and every time it comes on the TV, me, my granddad, my uncle, and some other people in my family all sit down to watch it because it's just a nice movie to watch.
Oh.
That's the reason why
Yes.
I like it.
I will
It's a
say,
family. It's a
respect-
family-friendly movie most of the
Yeah.
time.
Well, I will
Yeah.
say that I hate
Charlie
Well,
the
at the
ending.
beginning
Actually,
is a
start
little.
With
Yeah, the
what,
beginning
Yeah.
should be
The
prostitutes?
beginning, not so
Hmm.
much, because the guy gets bulldozed to death in his Lamborghini Miura, which is sad because that's a very nice car.
I was
Is it still
actually
on
talking
Honey?
about the girls in the hotel.
Yeah,
so-
that one.
Oh yeah, that
The
one,
gangbang
yeah, I forgot.
scene.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one, that was quite funny. Honestly, when I was
Yeah.
6 and I first watched that, I didn't understand. I was like, why are they in this hotel room for?
Why
Yeah,
are they
I don't think that would
naked?
open up to a 6-year-old.
Yeah, but I watched the film. I liked the film. It's a fun film.
It is very
It is.
rich.
I have
It
it on
was.
DVD somewhere. I think it's at my grandma's house.
It's pretty cool.
I just
But-
hated the ending. Like it didn't actually
Ooh,
end.
we're already
that-
gonna
that's
jump
not
there.
so
Okay.
much. That actually
that part
annoyed me
annoyed
so
me
much.
too. That annoyed me
No,
so much. as
honestly,
well.
I love it. I love the ending.
It,
Like
it
it's
was like it's well suited for the comedic part of it. But
Yes.
it's still like
Yeah.
it just doesn't go anywhere.
Also,
no,
another reason why
I
is-
like to imagine that.
They
I'm
ran
sorry.
out of budget.
Yeah,
It was the
Another
able
reason why is that
situation. Fuck, we're out of
Michael
money.
Caine. Michael Caine's just like one of my favorite actors of all time,
Yes.
and I love his movies. So yeah, that's another reason why.
Oh, he's an amazing lead. Like,
yeah,
it's a shame that nowadays he doesn't like he doesn't get as many lead roles as he
probably
he
because
used
he's
to.
quite old, and I think he's on the
Yeah.
verge of retiring now.
Yeah,
Go
but
for it.
still, you know, he's.
Also,
Even older
there's
than
a
I
s-
am.
there's
I think
quite a
he's
lot, like, things
93.
about-
Could it be?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
over
he's-
90, I think.
Yeah, there's a lot of things in the movie that like me as a car person really enjoyed. Like there's a scene in it where they're racing on a racetrack on top of a building, which is actually
Yes.
which is Fiat's test track that they put their cars on. It's on top of a building
Towards
that's
the
oval.
end.
That's one.
Did
Yeah.
they
That
like
was
have
really
to
cool.
abandon it because it's no longer safe?
Probably yeah. Probably.
And
'Cause-
that's literally the only thing I know about it. I think that was a big thing that it's not safe anymore.
yeah, it probably wouldn't.
Like
Also,
you
all the-
mentioned, like about another one of the reasons that you like this movie so much is because it has so much elements like cars and stuff like that. Like as someone who actually understands, you know, the mechanics, kind of understands the mechanics of the
I drive
cars and everything.
Yeah.
No, but like the logic of the plan, like the fact that they have like those three little, I forgot the name of the car.
Mini.
Yeah,
They're just called minis.
yeah, the
Mini
three
Coopers.
minis. Basically, like they did some stuff that I'm like, I don't know if that car would be able to withstand this kind of work. I don't know, like
The thing is, obviously, that car, it's a good car, but like some of the shit they definitely cannot do. As much as even though it is one of the cars at the time that won the rally championships in Monte Carlo multiple times over, Ferrari, the creator of the car company Ferrari had like 3 of them as well. It was
Hmm.
one of the most popular cars in the world. It was more of like a marketing thing for that car more than
I see.
anything
I see.
else.
And because we're doing stuff like that, I think it would be impossible even for like
Yeah.
like you know
I
very
think they
specific
wrecked,
cars.
like 30
And-
cars making that movie.
And you know, you need to consider that when they were doing that stuff, they had like gold in their
Yeah.
you know
Funny enough, gold was
compartments.
very heavy.
So
Yeah,
so,
gold is very heavy.
Also,
so
like
I don't know if
the-
they would be able to do all that stuff.
I'm not sure what you call it, Italian man, but the trunk or the boot of the mini
Yes.
is incredibly small.
Yes.
So, like,
sure.
It could probably like I have helped fix one in the past. It's about the size of a drawer, about that big. and
Yes,
that
yes.
deep. It's
I have a
boot.
friend who has one of those. So
In
Yeah.
all honesty, 4 million in gold is not an awful lot of gold at the end of the day.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's kind of true.
Yeah.
Small box.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously I don't know the transfer rate of how expensive gold was in the 60s, but still.
Assuming
gold
it'd
was
be worth
probably
even
worth
more,
a lot.
'cause, like inflation
Yeah.
and stuff, right?
Yeah.
But boy, have you guys noticed, like watching the Italian Job, how much movie has changes like compared to back in the day,
Yes,
like
bro.
the structures,
like-
Yeah.
the rhythms, because like consumer
does it
did like a
though?
joke yesterday. No, like you did like a joke yesterday, like talking about like the review of the movie on how
Oh,
like for the first half it was kind of boring and then it becomes like the best the best thing ever. And I don't know, I feel like the structure of you know old movies, they kind of like it's different from nowadays, because like if you went to do a movie like that nowadays, it would have like a completely different formula. Like okay, the beginning you introduce the main character, and then you would have like a specific scene for introducing like each member of the crew, and that their like speciality and everything, and
Yeah.
and even like the villain, because in the movie like
He's
the
not
villain
even
is
about-
the
he's
master.
just like, don't steal our money, bro.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
don't
He's
steal.
the voice of reason.
And Michael Caine is like, what if we do? And he's like,
Well,
Yeah. So how about I do anyway?
yeah. So you know, it's and even like something that I've noticed like during the movie, like the soundtrack is like they don't use it as much. Like let's say the whole scene where they had like to jam the traffic. Like there was pretty much no soundtrack, and I don't know. I don't know if
It's
it
just
was
a
like
horse blaring, like
yes.
cars going beep.
And I don't know
Yeah.
if it was like something that they did like on purpose or I don't know, but like it helped it increase the tension, at least for me, because like you didn't know what would happen. Like would they be caught? Would they be the police was always there, was almost there. Because the only time that they decide to use a soundtrack for a scene was always like on comedic times, like when they were like escaping from the police, or like the scene in the hotel at the beginning, or when he goes out of prison. That's something that I noticed that I think it's pretty interesting.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, that's a good point to note.
I wish.
Also, like one thing that is kind of nice, obviously, it's a significantly older movie, so
Yeah.
the dawn of CGI was not a thing.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
is like there is a certain authenticity to the whole like we actually wreck these cars kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
bro,
think
I
one of
was
my
thinking
favorite-
about that the whole time. I was like, how many cars are you guys going to destroy? Especially at the end where
A
he just
lot.
throw them over the cliff. I'm like, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
There's a
I find it
movie.
funny how big the explosions were too.
Yeah, there's a movie. I think it's called it's the Battle of Britain film from like the 50s or the early 60s, where they
think
literally
it's called
fly
Battle
an
of Britain.
they literally fly an airplane into the ocean and
It's
destroy
like
it,
some
and it's a World War
Mr.
II
Beast
vintage
shit
one.
where he just puts a
Yeah.
train into a hole.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, there was no other way to do it back then,
Yes.
Yeah.
True.
and it
I like
does
that
give up.
movie.
So, like, there is a certain difference in the authenticity of like destroying something than doing it on computer, which is also
Yeah.
why I really like the old Star Wars films because of the whole miniature stuff.
Mm.
I
Because
guess, yeah.
it lends a certain kind of like physicality to the action.
Yeah. There's only I think guys like as much as I love this movie, I can nitpick the fuck out of it. Like
Oh,
this
yeah.
is shit, that is shit. But
Oh
like
yeah, it's so
I think-
old, so it's very
Yeah,
different from like.
I
what we're
feel
used
like
to.
if you can't really nitpick something out of your favorite movie, that is say it's
Yeah.
good, but I don't like this. It's not your
Yeah.
favorite film.
True.
I don't
But
think
it's
I
not
can do
your
that. on
favourite
Mononoke.
thing.
That film is
You can't,
But-
you can't really say like this thing is perfection. Like I love the John Wick films, but like there are some things that are like why this
I've only
that.
ever seen the first
Why?
John Wick
Why
film.
did you
Yeah.
just? Why was he so aggressively horny at the start?
Oh, yeah. I
Wait,
mean,
what?
he's been in a prison for 2 years.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
also
Yeah.
like after his like girlfriend gets him like 10 girls to sleep with on his first night out, he just proceeds to cheat on her with like another girl like
Yeah.
the next day.
Yeah, but
British in it.
consumer, you
It
need
was
to remember
Consumer,
that
it was the swinging 60s.
back in the day, main
Yeah.
characters, they had like to have this
Aura.
aura of womanizers
he
and
was
stuff like
just
that.
so
They were
aggressively
sigmas.
horny though. It was so
There
insane.
is that if you guys seen the
Consumer.
epic.
They called it the swinging 60s for a reason.
Oh my God.
If you
No,
guys
but-
have seen the epic rap battles of history of Austin Powers versus James Bond, where Austin Powers just
boy.
goes, "You are a bit rapey," to good old Bond.
You are, man.
Yeah. No, but Michael Caine like does an amazing job like
Yeah.
in this movie.
Something
He's-
that annoys me about the movie, which isn't really about the movie, it's about people now referencing the movie. You know the scene where there's like 50,000 Italian businesses in like London, Liverpool.
Yes.
People reference that bit, change it to a different racial group, and say that on Twitter to be against people here in the UK.
Oh.
They're like, there's 50,000 Indian businesses, and overnight they could be destroyed. It's like, with what happened recently, definitely not. Yeah,
Damn.
this is me.
I mean, obviously anything can be destroyed, but it's a bit.
Yes,
Also,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
the film is about a man who is presumably a millionaire who is in a position of power who could actually do something about something
True.
like that. Not
Yeah.
like an angry twat with a knife.
Also,
Yeah.
have you guys realized that Hollywood kind of has like an infatuation with heist and robbery movies?
Oh
Like
my God.
every other
I hate
crime
fucking heist
is
films.
Yeah.
is kind of like we don't like that. We don't like homicide. We don't like, but then heist
I don't
movies
think
is
they
always
can
like
make a very engaging movie about a rapist.
yeah,
Yeah.
No, but like let's say like movies like Ocean 11 and stuff
Yeah.
like that, that are in the same. The main characters are always like criminals, but they are always like they're always shown in like a very positive light. Like they're cool, they're criminal, but they're
Yeah.
cool. They're,
That's what I
Sorry,
hate
sorry,
about
sorry,
these
sorry,
films.
sorry,
Like,
one
I am
sec.
just like
it's-
objectively, these guys are just so lame. Like I'm not gonna believe your hoodoo. These guys suck.
yeah.
It's also like there's the like obviously there are other like big crime mysteries, something like the
Yes.
Zodiac or Jack the Ripper, but you don't get like obviously it's significantly darker than stealing a bit of money,
Yeah,
but it's still like there's not the same kind of attention put into something like that.
True.
There was a bit of like the serial killer boom when the potential identity of Jack the Ripper was found like 10 years ago. You got a lot of like a period of getting like serial killer stuff and series and things, but the heist is something that's just always there.
I know, I
Yes.
hate heist. That's one of the things I found hard when watching this film. I was just like, another heist film. I don't understand how there's so many, because I feel like after you've seen one, you've seen them all, bro.
Yeah, you've pretty
True,
much seen them all. to be
true.
honest. I wonder, what is the first ever heist film from Hollywood? Let's see.
Also, quick thing while Cheese does his research. Like a line that I really enjoyed in that movie is that when they're about to do the job, and like Michael Caine, you know, he's very pissed at everyone because they were arguing. He says something around the lines of, "Wait, remember, in this country, they drive on the wrong
That was
side
my
of the
favorite
road."
line. I was thinking that was
That was a good
that
line.
made me laugh out loud.
What about you were only supposed to blow the bloody doors off?
Oh,
yeah,
that one,
no,
yeah,
that's
the
good.
whole car.
Classic.
Apparently, the very first heist film is called The Great Train Robbery from 1903.
Wow.
I think I've heard about it. I'm
Another
I'm
heist film.
almost.
So over 100 years of heist films. Oh my god.
And the first like popular heist film has been The Asphalt Jungle from 1950.
Nice. Let's organize a gigantic heist as well. Okay.
Oh yeah, let's do
Speedy
it.
is gonna be the consumer is gonna be the getaway driver. Cheese is gonna be the mastermind. Speedy is gonna be our hacker, and I'm gonna be the one that distracts the guards.
You're like, hi.
We're gonna be like,
And
Ah.
Animate is when he has to do the
No,
fucking
Animate's gonna do his beta male voice.
yeah, but
Yeah.
hi, how you doing? I'm a little bit lost.
Oh, that reminds me of there's a guy on TikTok who does like this really cringe quote unquote Deku impression.
Yeah.
And that really reminds me of
Oh, that voice is 100% inspired on Deku, so
Oh,
it's
right, yeah, I figured. But yeah, the guy does like this video game thing. Every time he joins a lobby with a girl, he goes, "Oh my god, is that gamer girl?"
Oh yeah.
I think I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so good.
Does anyone
me
have
see if I have
anything else
any
they
other-
want to add to the Italian job?
It was very much a product of its time.
Yes. But a
Love
good
boy
product,
bands.
dare
Yeah.
I say, dare I say.
Like weirdly, given a lot of 60s productions, weirdly didn't have that many things that would be controversial today.
Yes.
Yeah. I enjoyed the film.
It had some, but not. It wasn't as egregious as it could have been.
Yeah,
No, in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
60s.
trying to think. I don't think I've really seen any film.
If you guys like would have to give this movie a score from 1 to 5, what would be the score?
What's good and what's bad? 1 or 5?
5 is good.
5
Bro,
is good.
In what
5 is good. 1
world
is...
is one good?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give
I'd
this
probably
one.
give it
Like sometimes I get confused. Okay.
I'd give it a 3. Like there was, honestly, there were times when they were just driving around, and I started to dig out my phone from my pocket and just scroll Twitter while they were just driving around. But yeah, it was entertaining, very very British.
I'll give it a 2.
A
Too
2.
much
Oh,
oi
okay.
bros. Too much oi bros.
Alright.
Not enough driving.
Yeah, Oibrovs was.
If it was just
I would-
1 hour of
there-
straight driving footage, I'll probably give it a 5. But too much oi.
I would
bros.
argue that there weren't enough oi bro. I would have loved a
What?
little bit more.
Especially the start is like very British.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
what I was thinking. So I was like, this is so. Oh.
Oh, do you guys remember the ward and his obsession for the queen?
Oh
Mm.
yeah, that it was a bit creepy.
Yeah, it was. I
the
thought it was
child-
gonna be like a plot point later on, but
Yeah.
it was just there to show that
the-
he's like a little crazy.
Yeah, also the like bits of
Real
the-
British patriot.
of Elizabeth being a child plastered on his walls. was
Yeah,
a bit
yeah,
weird.
that was a
Ugh.
little weird.
A bit dodgy.
I do know of some people are in around my area who are like that. That's the thing.
Yeah, I mean,
There are
For
some
real?
people that are
Really
like
like
that.
around
That's who.
That's why. Oh, that's why Speedy has the new like Fred green screen thing. His walls are now plastered with Queen Elizabeth.
No,
Listen, guys, don't expose
There
me.
we go. Mystery solved.
All right.
Think
no,
the next.
I can confirm. Look, It's still Konosuba and everything there.
Mhm.
Everything up there, if I can reach it. There's a T-34 there. That's at least there's a T-34 there. She's the least most British tank possible.
Right. I think the next movie would be Mononoke.
Yep.
of-
96, 97, something like that.
Yes.
I'm just having a look. It released in 2001, apparently.
That's not true.
No, 97,
Ooh.
97 is original.
Yeah.
The
Oh, maybe it's like
English release is
international
in
release or something
2001.
else.
Yeah. Like European release is 2001 at least in some parts, and 97 is the original date.
Let me go
But
through.
yes,
what happens.
Mononoke.
Mononoke.
Mononoke
Wow.
is
Yeah,
a
give us-
bit of a complicated film, but if I had to give a very simple rundown, the main character, who's Ashitaka, is a prince, and he gets attacked by a demon one day. He kills it, but it curses him, and because of that, he's driven out of his village to go find out why. And what he finds out is essentially the whole plot of the film.
Yeah.
Weirdly,
Mulan.
I feel like Mononoke has taken some inspiration from Kurosawa stuff.
Okay.
Like there's a lot of that like traditional. Obviously, Kurosawa's is more like traditional samurai values versus the modern world, but there is a similar vibe to certain parts of Mononoke. Obviously, it's forest versus the samurai,
Mm-hmm.
but there is still a similar feeling to some of his works.
Would you say that with other Miyazaki films?
Not really. I think Mononoke is the most because it is kind of the setting of old versus new.
Oh, I
Other
see.
Miyazaki, like Miyazaki does a lot of obviously a lot of his stuff is like social commentary and problems in society and that sort of stuff. Like if you've seen, well, everyone except probably Speedy has seen Spirited Away with the whole prostitution commentary and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've seen Spirited Away. I
Okay.
just forgot I've watched it.
No, I actually haven't seen it yet, but
Damn.
that's I'm gonna
Anime.
talk about it in a minute because hold
Yeah.
on.
You
Like-
don't like most of Miyazaki stuff. Like the translations don't show the social commentary that much, especially Spirited Away. It's like almost completely gone. But
Yeah.
there is
Yeah.
a lot of symbolism of like, especially ye olde Japanese, very young girl prostitution kind of thing. There's a lot of commentary about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I'll have to look into that whenever I next watch Spirited.
I think you'd probably enjoy Kurosawa's films, Consumer. You might want to have try
Yeah,
and
they're
find
on
them
my
somewhere.
list. I feel like I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for that period of my time. The
Also,
obsession
he
will
did-
occur.
He did some of the best archery scenes ever of people getting shot with bows.
Oh,
because he literally had the
archery
actors being-
scenes like when Ashitaka blows a man's hands
Yeah.
off with just an arrow.
Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah, but
I
there's
was
a-
not expecting that.
Yeah,
I was not
Kurosawa-
I,
expecting
I,
that.
I
Kurosawa
thought it was
stuff
gonna be
is-
like one of those like happy kids movies.
It is.
No.
It's
wrong.
crazy. It's meant to be a
Nah.
kids film as well, and he just
Yeah.
No, but
that was right before Totoro, right? Or was that right after Totoro?
Which one?
The Mononoke.
Pardon me.
I think it was after Totoro. Totoro's old as hell. It's like in the 80s, I think.
Yeah, 88 is Totoro. Okay.
Yeah.
Totoro.
Some sort of dead
I-
afterward.
I need
okay,
to check the timeline of Ghibli films.
okay,
Not supposed
consumer.
first, man. What are you saying, Animate?
Quick. Just a quick thing like about the movie, like at least
Go for it,
my
brother.
experience with it, because I think you guys remember that I've said like in the podcast a few times that I have not watched any Ghibli movies ever.
Damn.
But not because of I don't think they're good or nothing. I just didn't have the time.
Yeah.
So this was my introduction to Ghibli
Oh,
movies.
It's a
Interesting.
very
So we
good
have a lot to
introduction.
talk about.
It is. I remember like I was watching it and I've tried to, because I remember you guys talking a little bit about the symbolisms of these type of movies and everything, and I've tried to pick a little bit out of it, like the whole industry in the fight against the capitalism, like
Yeah.
of the idea of the movie, and I don't know if it's industrialism or capitalism. What word would fit better? But I really did enjoy like the whole circle of the thing. Like this. I kind of named it the circle of hate. Because everything started because not to give spoilers for the people that have not watched it, but everything that happened starts because someone does something and then this other person does another thing and then this brings it to the beginning of the movie with Ashitaka, and even though he has all the right to at the end of the day continue this circle, and try to end the situation that is about to happen, siding on either a side or the other. He always tries to stay like, I don't want to continue this cycle. I just want to, why can't we just like live in harmony? That was like something that was very, very, very cool and interesting in the movie. Also, Lady Eboshi. I know that it's not very, like, bro, she, like, I know she's supposed to be the villain, but hear me out.
No villains, but
Hear me out. Yeah, like in the no wait, what did you say that
I would argue
there are no
aren't really
villains?
any villains. No,
Not really.
No,
it's,
yeah,
it's more the like industry bad.
Yeah, but because
The
like
industrial
something that
necessarily,
I
I don't think it's even as simple as just to say it's bad, because you
Yeah.
see like she's providing jobs and care for. Like,
yeah that
Yeah.
that was what I wanted to say, because like when I was watching
I
the
think
movie,
it's more the like rampant industrialism destroying nature, and it needs to be kept in check, but it's still a good thing.
yes,
It can be a good thing.
because like when we are finally introduced to her in the movie, I'm like, oh, okay, so she's the villain, like and then they start to show what she's done to the community that she lives in. Like let's say she has given jobs to people who couldn't have them. She's treating people that society has decided to throw away, and I was like, wait, am I supposed to think that she's the villain here because
Yeah.
she's helping people?
But there's a
Maybe
lot
I
of
am
that.
the bad guy.
what?
There's a
Yeah,
lot
am I
of that in
supposed to be
these films.
attracted to her?
Also,
Sorry.
I checked the one just before Mononoke was Whisper of the Heart, which I had no idea is called that in English,
What the fuck?
because
I don't even know
its
that.
Finnish name is the Kingdom of Cats.
Oh,
Oh, I know that one. That was that's Isao Takahata. I think I know.
No, it's Miyazaki's.
Miyazaki.
It's about the cat kingdom and the cat gentleman. It's Miyazaki's one. Takahata's
Is it a short film?
next one is My Neighbors the Yamadas.
Is it a short film?
I don't think so.
Why the fuck have I never heard of this?
No, it's 111 minutes.
What the hell?
Yeah, it's
I've never
Miyazaki's.
seen this before. That is insane.
Hmm?
I have seen the clips. I have a saved video of the girl like. picking
Oh,
up
it's
a
it's
cat.
no, it's Kondo's film, but its screenplay is based on Miyazaki's stuff. But
Okay.
I'll send you a
I'm gonna be
picture
honest,
of what it's called.
Anything outside of Miyazaki and Takahata, I want to be that guy. That shit's irrelevant, bro. That shit's irrelevant to me.
Whisper of the Heart is a good film.
Mm.
It's Kondo and Miyazaki did it together, like director and screenwriting. Screenwriting is Miyazaki's, and Kondo is the director.
I'll watch it, but like, I'm not.
It's
I'm
not a bad film.
expecting a lot. I'm not expecting a lot.
Also, I do love the fact that things like Grave of the Fireflies is still a Ghibli film.
Yeah, but Takahata's stuff really ranges. If you've seen
Yeah.
Princess Kaguya as well,
absolutely.
they're really
Or
out
like-
there.
This
like-
this guy, this
Isn't- Takahata
Takagata,
also do Pompoko.
like he's like the director that substitute fuck, I forgot the word, but he was the one that did the Ghibli movies after Miyazaki decided to retire, right?
Yeah, he's also
they
done,
were
like,
doing
all
it
the Ghibli
together.
films.
They were both co-founders.
Ah,
actually.
okay.
They're both
Yep.
like
Okay.
Miyazaki's the biggest name, but Takahata
Okay.
was also making films like.
I
feel
see,
like
I see.
Takahata may have made some films that, like, in certain circles are a lot better known than Miyazaki stuff. Something
Grave
like
of the
Grave of the
Fireflies,
Fireflies.
Princess
Grave of the Fireflies
Kaguya.
is probably one of his biggest things.
Miyazaki trying not to retire, impossible.
Yeah,
Takahata's
but
already
yeah.
passed away now, so
Yeah, speaking of Takahata stuff, like Grave of the Fireflies versus something like Pompoko, it's a very different ball game.
yeah.
Like
It's just
he
a lot-
made
just
a
more
variety of
bleak.
stuff.
Just-
Yeah, his stuff is a lot bleaker. You're correct.
but, yeah, I want to watch it.
but I know that that's gonna be a little bit basic to say that. I know, but like another thing that I really enjoyed about this movie was the animation
Oh, it looks
and the
so
soundtrack. Because like the
Oh.
animation, I mean it like the attention to details, to like scenes that like normally they wouldn't have like that much detail. Like you know when they are in the forest and he's like walking in the water, and then like you see like the footprint of the dirt coming out of the footprint when he steps on. Like that was something that I don't think that this level of appreciation of detail I've seen it in like
Yeah.
the
It's-
other movies.
Yeah, it's
Great,
kind of
but
rare nowadays, especially.
it was almost an issue because I think this is like in the 90s as well, so everything was hand drawn. I think
Yeah.
like
Yep.
Miyazaki almost like bankrupted like Studio Ghibli based off of this film. Like this film like had to do well, or else they were like completely like in the dirt in terms of the amount of money and time they spent on it. but it ended up being really,
Yeah.
really
That was when they were using
successful.
cells to animate, wasn't it?
What did you say?
When they were using like those really thin, like
Yeah,
almost clear
exactly.
pieces of like paper
Yep.
cells.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's old school animation. Admittedly, didn't Miyazaki like a lot of Miyazaki's things still used very old school animation at times, even to the like latest things.
Funny point though, Mononoke is kind of a time where Ghibli was experimenting. So I don't know if you noticed, but all the scenes with the demons and the like little
Yeah.
tentacle worm thing, that's all CG. So they actually put
Oh,
CG
bro.
on top of
And that's
Cell
1975 CG. Let's
Yep.
let's point that out because
crazy.
like when I saw that I was like, okay, that looks amazing. Like especially compared to stuff that is coming out nowadays. Like you it really makes you think like how much work they did put in
Oh,
this
yeah,
movie.
absolutely.
100%. I would say though overall, just about Mononoke, it's my favorite Ghibli film, but I don't really think it's that representative of Ghibli stuff. It
Yeah,
kinda
it-
sticks out.
It's not the most Ghibli film, if you know what I mean.
Spirited
it is
Away
still a
is
really
much
good film.
better one.
Consumer, like on the same note of Speedy, like why this specific one is your favorite movie?
Oh, good question. I think it's honestly just probably one of the first films or animes I ever saw. Like I saw it when I was like 5 or 6, and I think at the time then, like the big themes didn't really hit me, but I really liked Ashitaka. So like I remember when he left the village, right, and like he made it to like Iboshi's capital, and like he was like you know, like he goes to see the ladies and they start flirting with him and stuff. I was like, oh, he's so cool. I want to be like him. And then when he
He
like,
is
saves
him.
San, right, and he gets in between them, I'm like, oh, he's so strong. I want to be like
Yeah.
him. That was kind of
Bro.
why I liked him as a kid. And I don't know what it was. I guess just the general vibe of the film kept me like rewatching it like throughout my childhood into adulthood at regular intervals. And like the more I watched it, like newer things like I came to like appreciate. So it was just a film that like I just kept getting more and more from. And then by the time I'd seen it like 6 or 7 times, I was like, okay, what else can it even be like? It doesn't really compare to anything else for me.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay, now this is more of a personal question for me. Like, what would you guys recommend? Like after watching Princess Mononoke as my next Ghibli movie?
Oh, that's good.
I'd either say Moving Castle or Spirited Away.
Okay, let me write that down.
Those are probably the most Ghibli films.
Yeah, it would
With
have
the
to be
exception
one
of
those,
Totoro.
like,
The one with the fighter plane.
Oh, or
Blind
Porco
one.
Rosso, or like that's
Porco
it.
Rosso
Do you
is
mean
also a
Porco
good one.
Rosso or like they're two? Porco Rosso
Wind
or-
Rises is the newer
or
one
The
about
Wind
the guy who
Rises.
invented the zero. Porco
both-
Rosso might
yeah.
actually be something you enjoy. It's also it takes place in Italy.
Ah, perfect.
Nice.
Okay.
It's also B's favorite Ghibli film.
Ah,
One
perfect.
thing I would say
Rosso.
about Miyazaki that's important to know is he's another person who was born like during that war period, and his dad
Yeah.
was like an aviation guy, so like he used to make planes for the war. So there's a lot of flying aviation in Miyazaki's films and a lot of themes around war. So like
Yep.
The Wind Rises is about this guy who makes planes which end up being used in the war. Porco Rosso is a fighter jet in the war. Like there's a lot, or even in the newest one, the guy is like the son of like a factory worker who makes.
Yeah, The
like,
Boy and the
planes.
Heron is the newest
Yeah.
one, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think
still haven't
Porco
seen
Rosso
that
is
one.
a good one. I think I like
Yeah,
that.
Porco Rosso is a great one. It's also it's not quite in that like kiddie territory of Ghibli, but it is still a great film, and it's also another one that has like a really strong undertone of war bad kind of like.
Okay.
It's an
We say it
anti-war
with
film
Speedy's
about fighter pilots.
War thunder
Yeah.
background.
Yeah.
Like let's go war.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Porco Rosso is a
Or
great
war
film.
out, yeah.
All
I
right.
think you'd probably enjoy that.
I'll watch these movies. I'll let you guys know as soon as I'm done with them.
Alright. Cool. Is that who's
And the
next?
next- Next is
Wait, hold on.
Wait.
Like again, as we said, like with Speedy, what rate would you guys give to Princess Mononoke?
Anything other than a 10, I'm gonna strangle you, bro.
No, from 1 to 5, from 1 to 5. So
I'm gonna have to give it a 5. I really like
my
Mononoke.
guy.
I'm gonna give it a 5 as well. I was not expecting to enjoy that as much as I did. So
Speedy.
Go on, Speedy.
The thing is,
Consumer
I'm
knows.
just-
Consumer lives in the same country as you do.
he lives in
Be
Scotland, I
careful.
live in England. I'm undecided about it. It's a very good movie, but it hasn't hit me yet. I didn't.
click for
It
you.
didn't. It didn't. It didn't hit me. You know what I mean?
Too deep, bro.
Yeah.
I can
I mean,
appreciate. You know
the
what?
vibe I got. I only had one note for it. I was writing down notes for The Nun and Princes Mononoke, and I've only got one thing. It's interesting.
That's fair enough. You know what? I don't even think that's that uncommon an opinion. Like whenever I
Yeah.
watch it with people, I feel like it's a film that might even take a couple of times to really like get.
Yeah,
or, like,
I was gonna say
yeah,
that too.
get
Like
to hit
that's
you.
most Ghibli films. You really should give them a few watches, and then you like then it really opens up.
All right.
That's
Like
fair.
all the
Respect that,
undertones.
Speedy.
I saw all these cool things like the fire lances that they were using, and the sort of musket weapons that they were using. I thought that was cool. The factory scene, that was also very cool. The archery scenes, I quite enjoyed that as much as, even though I'm not really good or know much about archery, I just thought it was kind of cool.
Bro,
Do
that
it together.
ending scene with the
Yeah.
forest spirit.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was
To
so
go and dig
fucking
out
The
my
cool.
main
bow
thing,
again.
actually, when I first saw the forest spirit, I burst out laughing. It looked so
Yo,
ridiculous.
his face is
What
so
the
funny
fuck
though.
is
Why
that
does it
thing?
look
It
like
is
Yeah.
very like old school yokai. Like I seem
Yeah.
to remember
Yeah.
there's
And also
don't
there were
quote me on
these,
that, but there's like a thing on like human-faced yokai are more intelligent and more like regal and more important.
There
It
was
would
all
make
the-
sense in the
also
story.
these little like white
Oh,
Yeah,
the-
forest
Yeah.
little
things.
spirit.
Oh god, what are they called? I
Kamagi.
forgot their name.
Kamagi?
They are in Neo as well, but I forgot the name now.
The head just go like.
Kamaki. Is it Kamaki or Kamada?
No, it's neither of those. It's Kodama. There we go.
Kodama.
okay.
Kodama is the name. They're like little forest and like nature spirits.
They just chill.
Mm.
I
When
see.
I was noticing all these little cool things. I was like, damn, that's pretty cool. I was like, that was it.
They're
I'm
very-
struggling to come up with I'm struggling to come up with a score for it because I enjoyed the movie, but I don't understand what the fuck was going on at the same time.
I feel
I
like
was
that
like,
is
hold
a
on a
typical
second.
response to Super Mononoke.
Yeah.
But it's good. But it feels really. It's a very deep movie.
It's a very hefty one too. I don't blame you, but I'm glad you enjoyed it. I think that's what matters the most.
I did watch it on 1.25 times speed though.
God
Hey.
damn it, Speedy.
Oh, that's actually so
Oh, bro. What
But
the
you're
fuck,
watching two
man?
films back to back, so I'll ever so slightly let you off.
Yeah. So because by
Speedy,
the time we finished the Nun, it was already like half past midnight.
Yeah,
so-
I was gonna ask which one did you watch first?
Yeah, we started at like, was it 10 o'clock? 10:30, 11ish. So and then we finished the Nun. Then we watched that one. I was like, damn, this bitch 2 hours long. This better be
Yeah.
this better be a biblical experience.
Yeah, they like Ghibli films do tend to be a bit lengthy, but that's the stories are usually so complex that you can't really squeeze them down either.
Mhm.
Like there's the whole thing in Totoro about the girls actually being dead and stuff like that.
Oh god, I
Yeah.
don't want to think about that.
I tried to read.
There's a
read
whole
about
theory
it.
that the like girls in Totoro have actually been like murdered by their dad and buried in a field or
I've
something.
seen these
I don't
like,
ex-
weird horror.
I don't
edits
exactly
of
remember how
Totoro
it
as
goes,
well.
but it is surprisingly fitting.
Yeah, I was trying to read up about it, but the only thing I got from reading about it was just the Industrial Revolution and its consequences. That was
I mean
Yeah.
that is the main point of Mononoke.
Yeah. It's like, damn, fuck nature, bro. No, not fuck nature. No, fuck industrialism.
Oh right.
let's.
What do you mean, Speedy? You don't want to
work?
work in a factory 18 hours every day?
Nah,
But
not
I'll
really.
actually have you know the Ford factory invented the 9 to 5, so they were pretty nice.
That is true.
Hours.
But
True.
like if we talk like full on Victorian English factories,
Oh,
that was
yeah.
a bit rough.
Low
Yeah,
boy, get in
a-
that chimney right
a
now and
bit
don't
rough.
come back.
Yeah, don't get in the chimney and get stuck there.
Yeah, and like child labor because you couldn't get into the tight spaces and horrendous working hours and all that good stuff. Welcome to
Yeah.
the Industrial Revolution, everyone.
Oh boy.
All right, shall
But-
we go on to
Good movie.
Spider-Man's
Sam
next.
Raimi?
Yeah, I think Spider-Man is Sam Raimi
Sam
Spider-Man.
Raimi's.
Sam Raimi Spider-Man.
Finally,
Well,
everybody I can understand.
For the very few people who have not watched this movie yet, Spider-Man tells the story about Peter Parker,
Surprise,
I,
surprise.
Really?
a high school student, because
thought
Tobey
it was
Maguire
Tony
does not
Stark.
look like Tobey Maguire does not look like a high school student
No.
who gets bitten by a genetic altered spider and becomes the superhero known as Spider-Man. Well, it is like a very it is a very interesting and special movie for me in interesting in in the fact that it was like one of the first superhero movies that like actually were good, like because in the 80s 90s the only good thing that came out of there were like the Blade movies and the Batman movies and the Superman movies. Of course we cannot forget
And
about
Batman's
those.
nipple armor.
Yeah,
The
and
X-Men movies
unfortunately,
that-
yeah, but the X-Men movie were like on the same at the same time as Spider-Man.
yeah.
So
Oh, true,
they're
that's true,
roughly the
sorry,
same.
my bad, yeah.
so basically, like on a point of view of the comic book industry and how it revolutionized, you know, the idea of the superhero to to the mainstream audience is like especially considering the time that it came out, because we need to remember that this movie came out like a little bit after a certain event in U.S.
yeah.
history. So.
Yep.
So the idea of having a hero who fights like a threat in America, of course it touched people, especially like Americans at that time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it is like a
was sick.
special movie for me because it was literally the first movie that like my parents brought me when I was a kid. Like I remember going to like the supermarket and like seeing the little VHS cassette, because that was the time. And I don't know why I wanted to buy that. I've never heard about Spider-Man anything, but I just wanted to buy that. And I remember I watched the fuck out of that movie like when I was a kid, like to the point where nowadays I can quote pretty much all the movie like by memory. And I don't
You
know.
got the
It's,
quote from the guy, the leader of the newspaper.
yeah,
Oh,
J. Jonah
JJ?
Jameson.
Yes.
Me and
Him.
JJ go way back.
Get me pictures of Spider-Man.
Your legs are so
Yeah.
spiked. That was a good
I
impression.
will say though, the Sam Raimi Spider-Mans are probably some of the most memed superhero films
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
It
want
was
to
just
talk
ahead
about
of its time.
it's because of the
Oops,
tone
sorry?
like Sam Raimi took with it, which I
Yeah.
think it's quite unique to him. But I think
Yeah.
it's honestly the best thing about the film. I think it doesn't like fail to capture the weirdness and wackiness of comics.
No,
it's
no,
full
it
ball,
doesn't.
Yeah.
which I love.
Doesn't.
I
No,
think
it-
those are some of the best iterations of Spider-Man ever. Like Tom Holland, he's a good actor, but like his Spider-Man's a bit too cringe.
Like the thing
agree.
is like with what consumers said about the tone of the movie. Some like in the behind the scenes of the first movie, Sam Raimi said something around those lines that he didn't want to reinvent the wheel. Like like even like with character design and everything. Like he just wanted to be a mediator, like for the comic book media to like movies. So basically, like he just wanted to translate what was the vibe of the comics that he read to the movies, which I think he did pretty good. Of
Yeah.
course, the movie is not perfect. Like there's so many stuff. No, it's not perfect. It's
Yeah, some of the CGI is a bit rough, for example.
not even the CGI, but like if do you guys remember the scene where he's fighting the wrestler and then the
Oh,
wrestler
yeah.
says something around
Oh yeah, but
just
that's
come
so
out here.
funny though.
Was Bonesaw or something?
Yeah. And then he says something around the lines of, "Oh, very cute outfit. Did your husband give it to
Did
you?"
your boyfriend
Which
make
of-
it for you?
Which, of course, now in 2024 is not funny.
This is so
It's a very serious, but in the 2000, this was acceptable.
But I think
And
he's
of
also
course-
a bad guy too. It's not like they're like
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a bad guy. Or a bad guy.
that guy is just so.
What if he said something around the lines of, "Yes, my boyfriend did give it to me.
Yeah.
He's like the love of my life, and we like to live together."
And then
in the-
smacks his shit out of him.
And it just be like,
Yeah.
That would be so
What
funny.
what
think
is
you actually
that
had a
line in
boyfriend.
The Kingsman about the guys in the American Baptist Church? There's something that I'll go
Ah,
make
yeah,
love
yeah,
to
I know
my-
which one you're saying.
Oh,
I'll
yeah,
That he-
go
yeah.
make love to my Jewish Satanist boyfriend or something.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
something like that.
This guy's got a whole
No,
lot
but-
of hate in them. I can't lie. A whole lot.
But even there, like certain characterizations weren't as good compared to like the comics. Like, unfortunately, this movie gave the idea that to the general audience that Peter Parker is like this nerdy guy who
Yeah.
cannot speak to girl. MJ, he's a whore who only knows how to scream. Harry is
Yeah,
like
the MJ was actually so bad. I keep forgetting she was
Yeah.
so bad.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, these are like the negative sides of this movie, and that's kind of that's a little bit of the fact that it's a product of its time, and
Yeah.
the fact that Sam Raimi is known to not be very good into adapting female characters in
Oh,
his
bro,
movies.
he's Masashi Kishimoto again. It's a Naruto situation. Oh. And if any of you compare it to Sakura because of her red hair, I'm gonna strangle you. Okay?
No, no.
Hands are
But
here.
No, Sakura's a lot more useless than MJ. though.
something that I really enjoyed in the movie as well is like the horror element, the little horror elements that Sam Raimi put in there. Because let's
Also-
remember that he's a horror director.
I
Yeah.
still want to
So-
watch The Evil Dead. I've seen a couple clips. It looks really cool.
Oh, the new ones or the originals?
The original one. They're new ones.
They made
Yeah, I think
two
they're-
new
yeah.
ones. Like the two new ones aren't remakes or anything. It's like a spiritual successor, and I think they captured the feeling of Evil Dead really well. I would recommend watching all of them.
I don't know. I don't want to watch that OG shit. That stuff look weird as hell.
Oh, the OG shit is weird. I touched the cat and now he's bothered.
I also think it was a big inspiration in Chainsaw Man too. Which is
Oh
another-
yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe a partial inspiration.
But yeah, there's also I will say that William Dafoe is one of the greatest superhero villains ever as
Yes.
Green Goblin.
Yeah,
The way
amazing.
bro like looks at the mask like, oh.
Yeah.
No, like
So
let's like for me till this day, this is like one of the funniest scenes in the movie. Like there's the moment where after he realized that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, he goes to see Aunt May, and like
Yep.
he stands outside of his window. He waits for her to get to the point in the prayer where like she needs to say, "Deliver us from evil," and then he enters the room. And then,
He
bro,
knows
that-
timing, bro.
I'm coming.
bro, that's some level of pettiness and hate that like very few can replicate.
Yeah. William Dafoe is a great actor anyway.
Yeah,
so-
he's an amazing guy. He's the best actor in that movie, honestly. He is the best
yeah,
actor.
by
there.
far.
Yeah, I don't really
But
think that
I really enjoyed it. I think it was my first ever superhero film, and the only only superhero films I really enjoy outside of the X-Men are the Sam Raimi Spider-Mans and the Dark Knight series.
Nice,
the
nice.
Batman
Incredibles.
stuff. With,
What about the
Sorry?
new
The
Batman?
Incredibles.
I have never seen The Incredibles.
Bruh.
Okay,
No,
I
bro.
was gonna say you kind of look at Mr. Incredible, but if he grew a beard.
Just because he's
Isn't he
white.
blonde?
Yeah, he's blonde. But yeah, do you guys have anything else to say about the movie? Or
Yeah, I was supposed to watch only one, but I watched all three.
I will
They're
say the
just
second
too
one is the
good, they're
best one
too
in the
good.
series.
yes, the second one is the best
Dr.
one.
Octopus is great.
Perhaps.
They're some of my favorite films again.
I think.
Yeah,
The
Yeah,
third
yeah.
one is a bit
When-
weird. but-
When I was a wee young lad, we used to have a freaking this big.
What do you
box
mean
found
when?
pic-
You still are.
He's still waiting for his growth spurt.
Listen
guys,
here,
don't
you
worry.
necessary being. Shut up.
For the viewers, you guys don't know this, but Speedy's actually 5'2", but
Yep.
he's still waiting on his growth
I'm
spurt.
not 5'2".
Laughing too hard, my head's falling off.
You.
You'll grow soon.
No, he's
Oh,
he's
boy.
not
You'll be
5'2". He's
when I'm
not.
done with you, consumer.
Yeah, he's not even
Ooh.
5 foot, you know.
He's 4'11".
Bruh. I'm getting
Sorry,
destroyed.
sorry,
I'm
Speedy,
getting
sorry,
bullied
sorry,
on
my
the
bad.
podcast.
Oh,
He's
when I-
actually sitting
when
on
I
a
was
lap.
when we were small, we had this fucking like really big box of movies, and about 6 of them were just the first 3 Spider-Mans because the 3
Nice.
of them broke because I watched them too much.
same.
We also had Wall-E, all of the Pixar films up until that time, and just we also had this film called Hotel for Dogs as well, which is another good film.
Animate, since we've been asking like personal questions.
Yes.
Not directly related to your movie, but who is your favorite? Like, who did your favorite ever performance in a superhero film?
Ooh, that's a hard question. That's a hard question. Damn. Like it's such a hard like because if you're talking like only like the main cast or like the
No,
main hero or villains as well.
A single character, like villains, because mine is Sledge's Joker.
Okay. Damn, it's okay. That's that's gonna be probably a very strange take, but I think that one of my favorites is wait, hold on, I need to remember the name of the actor.
I like this scene from
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
he's basically like Aaron. Yeah, Aaron Eckenhart
Yeager.
as Two-Face in no, Eckenhart in as Two-Face in The Dark Knight, because
Oh yeah.
Oh,
one of my
okay.
favorite villains and like the Batman mythos is Two-Face. Like I
Yeah.
like Joker, and of course Heath Ledger's interpretation of the character is the best so far. There's no, there's not even a fight
Better
there.
than,
Joaquin Phoenix.
yeah, I was trying to think
Yes.
of a funny way to describe him. I don't know.
The thing is, Joaquin Phoenix, he does an amazing job portraying that character, but it's not the Joker. Like it's
Yeah.
the Joker, but
He's
it's not the
funny.
Joker. Okay.
That was my biggest issue with that one.
Yeah, it's
But go on.
because the thing he's portraying like this version of the Joker that is like completely his own separate thing. It's not. I would say it has pretty much nothing else in common with like
Yeah,
comic book
it's
Joker.
not the comic book
It's a
Joker.
dark Joker.
Yeah. Now
Yeah.
not even dark, but like a
I mean,
Joker
Ledger's
that.
Joker is really dark.
Yeah. The thing, but going back to Eric Hartman, basically like
Name.
Two-Face is one of my I don't know how to say that name, but
Hard
he's like
What is it? It's Aaron Eckhart.
Eckhart. Here, Aaron Eckhart.
Aaron Hard.
Like-
man.
Two-Face is one of my favorite villains in comic book, like in general, because like the story of the character is so much interesting and complex compared to characters like the Joker and you know the Riddler and stuff like that. Because he starts as someone who is good, who wants to do good in Gotham, and then he slowly gets, I wouldn't say corrupted, but he's pulled into the madness of Gotham.
Yeah.
Like he like the whole movie idea of him being the White Knight of Gotham, you know, the hero that Gotham is supposed to have, not the one that
Warrior of
he.
Liberation.
Yes, kind of something kind of like that. And I think that he does like an amazing job of portraying this duality of the character. And that's probably like my favorite interpretation.
Fair enough.
Have you guys seen the Cyanide Happiness short called The White Knight?
I
The
know
White
what's not
Knight.
happiness.
Oh,
Who-
basically, it's racist Batman.
Right.
For real?
Also-
Oh my goodness.
No, that's
Yeah.
actually
Weirdly,
good.
actually,
like that.
I
like
think some of the best like superhero film like action scene, like scenes from specific actors, like some of the
Mhm.
greatest ones are in the Dark Knight series.
Yes.
I can't remember
Oh.
who played Commissioner Gordon, for example, but
The
god
Batman.
damn, he did a
Um,
great job.
Damn, I forgot the name as well.
The
But yeah,
Batman guy.
he is
Did you see
like
that- did you see
they're
that
all
car
amazing.
chase? Did you see that car chase?
Yeah.
Come on. The Batman.
Okay, unpopular opinion here, but besides from the Batman, like the 2019 movie, oh no, 2020, I forgot the release date. Yeah, 2021 movie. Like every other Batman movie, like the focus for me, like what really gets my attention are the villains. Like in
Yeah.
the 89 version, Jack Nicholson, he steals the show. And then you have Jim Carrey in
You
Batman
have fucking
Forever.
Arnold.
Arnold Schwarzenegger in
Yeah,
Batman and
Arnold.
Robin. Then you have
It's
Liam
time
Neeson as
to
Raj Al
Oh
Ghul.
yeah, Liam Neeson as Raj Al Ghul is great.
And,
Well,
of course,
Liam
Heath
Neeson in
Ledger.
anything is great. Yeah, Heath
Yeah.
Ledger.
Like until the Batman, like I always had that feeling that Batman movies were not focusing enough on Batman, like in
Yeah.
the construction of the character compared to the Batman. Because in the Batman, we have like the Batman is an actual character, not like a force that is there to withstand the whatever madness that the villain is gonna deliver on Gotham.
Mm,
Like that's like something that I have against the Batman
Jeez,
movies.
this was this the character you were talking about? Commissioner Gordon.
Where are you posting it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's Gary Oldman who did it.
Yeah,
Ah,
okay.
Gary Oldman.
But
that's-
yeah, also like people like Tom Hardy as Bane. An
Yeah,
amazing
bro.
actor. Also,
Yeah,
fun
yeah.
fact,
Amazing,
Tom Hardy was
amazing.
apparently walking in
You only
heels for
live
most
in
of
the
those
dark.
scenes.
Yeah.
I was
Because
born
Tom
in
Hardy is
the
actually
dark.
quite short.
live for the
darkness.
I grow up
born
in
in
the
the
Yeah.
dark.
What should I put on the mask?
By the time I saw
Why
the
do
light,
why do they all have funny voices? Heath Ledger.
I love Tom Hardy as Bane.
Yeah.
It was great.
No, Tom Hardy is an amazing. Like I love The Dark Knight Rises. He's not as good as The Dark Knight, but still a pretty good movie. It's a pretty
Yeah.
good movie.
So what would be rate Sam Raimi's Spider-Man?
5.
I'm in between a 4 and a 4.5 stars. I don't know.
Yeah,
When
I
say
think
a
I'm gonna give it a
4.25
4.
stars.
Smack bang in the middle. I'm gonna give it a 4 because I do enjoy them, but I'm just not
Only
his
because
biggest
Spider-Man 2 is
superhero
so
fan.
good, and I can probably say that.
The
Yeah, Spider-Man 2
nostalgia
is
hit
great.
me like a wave. I'm with
True.
Richard. There's nostalgia.
You
hit
would have
me.
gone a 5 if you had chosen Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, quick question, boys.
Yep.
Which is your favorite Spider-Man? Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire, or Andrew Garfield?
Miguel O'Hara.
Tobey Maguire.
Oh,
Tobey
okay.
Maguire.
Nice, nice. I like Spider-Man 2099. So, what did you guys say?
McQuire.
Maguire?
Maguire.
Of course,
Maguire,
Speedy
okay.
loves Bully
I have a-
Maguire. He sees himself in Bully Maguire. He's like.
I
so
have
mean.
not watched it Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh,
I haven't seen it either.
I think
Yeah.
that the best actor to portray Spider-Man has been Andrew Garfield.
I
Now, do I
love
believe that-
Andrew
I don't think I've
Garfield.
seen
He's
any of
very
his Spider-Man
charismatic.
things.
Bro, he's amazing. Like, have you guys seen Tick Tick Boom by any chance?
No.
It's an amazing movie. Like, he almost won an Oscar for it. Like, you guys
Why
need to
that
check it.
cat yawning, bro?
He wants food.
Mm.
But yeah,
He's not yawning. He's going
I think
at me.
he was my favorite one when I was younger. I also really just liked the way his Spider-Man moved. Like I was watching some clips.
Yes.
Like you see how he like webs.
He
people
does
up?
moves like
Oh.
a spider. He does
Oh.
move like a...
Yeah.
Like I really enjoyed the first The Amazing Spider-Man movie. It's such a shame that the second one wasn't as good.
Yeah.
But it was mainly the studio's fault because they wanted to have something that could rival the Avengers.
But I would
so
say
they
he
were
was a much better
Yeah.
Spider-Man than he was like a
Yes.
Peter Parker.
Yes. No, it depends. It depends. Like I think that all the three actors they were pretty good at interpreting a specific side of Peter Parker. So like let's say Tobey Maguire, the nerdiness and the angry issues that Spider-Man has. Andrew Garfield, the funny side, and then you have Tom Holland, who I don't think.
Youthful side, maybe?
I think Tom Holland's
No.
Spider-Man's a bit too like
That guy's
aimed
just
at
too
the
stupid,
Gen Z.
especially in the last
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
that-
film.
that's-
He actually
that's-
pisses me off how stupid he is.
I don't want to say I don't like him, but it's clearly that he's not the Spider-Man for my demographic of age. Like my brothers,
Yeah.
they love him, but they are like 14,
I really
so
liked
it's
the first film.
16.
I just
Yeah.
think the second and third, even when he showed up in Civil War, I thought he was pretty good. I just think the second and third. The third is a good film, but I feel like the Spider-Man in that film just had so many issues for me.
Yeah, fair.
Well,
All right, shall we go
Okay.
on to?
I look at
yeah.
Final.
Spider-Man
Let's
now,
go
and
on because we,
Let's go on to horror. Ooh.
yes.
Animate and
Scary.
myself both love horror, and I was the only one who chose horror for this. And
Yes.
my choice was, of course, The Nun, because again, I wasn't sure if Speedy could handle Annabelle Homecoming. Biggest reasons why it's one of my favorite horror films of all time is because the Conjuring trilogy, like the Conjuring setting, is like it's the resurrection of horror because there was a
Yes.
period when horror was fucking shite. And
True.
then The Conjuring sort of brought it back, and now we've started to have this renaissance of like good horror films. And I think the two strongest ones in that series are the Annabelle Homecoming and The Nun. Nun has a good balance of horror with the comedy. Like there's the whole holy shit bit.
Yes.
And
The
it's-
holiest.
Yeah.
Superhero
Basically,
movies.
they are like the nun is a demon. There's a monastery with a hole or a portal that someone opened to hell, and they send this cardinal and a nun to deal with it, with the groundskeeper of the monastery, and you get the horror film effect from that with
Yes.
obviously the nun being the demon. And they basically there's a relic which is like a piece of Jesus's blood, and the groundskeeper goes, like,
Jojo
"Holy
ass
shit!"
plot, bro. That's some.
And
Yeah.
then the
That
priest,
guy-
the priest goes, "Oh yes."
He is
the
my
holiest."
favorite character in the film. And he's French.
Frenchie.
The only thing that annoyed me was he's French Canadian. He's
I
not
can't
French.
I'm French Canadian.
He's French Canadian.
Yeah, but I really enjoy The Nun. It
Yeah.
has the perfect balance of a horror film for me. I do like depending on my mood, I would enjoy something a bit more like very horror focused, like Annabelle, for example.
I
But-
thought,
Yeah, there was a
honestly,
lot less
G, like,
horror
I
than
thought you would
Annabelle.
like something.
Yeah.
I thought you would like something a lot more scarier than this.
To
No,
be
there-
honest,
there
Speedy,
is,
I don't
but-
think there's such a thing as a genuinely scary horror film.
Is there not?
Agreed.
Like when the guy was in the coffin
I was-
and he was like, help me. I was just laughing, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah. Not gonna lie, I think that part was the scariest part for me because I just have a fear of tight spaces.
A
He's
claustrophobic.
like,
yeah,
Yeah.
claustrophobic.
Yeah.
Like
that's why I
there,
don't-
there,
another
there are
reason why I don't like
so
being
many
there.
good elements in the Nun, like as a horror movie. Like I literally like I did like a note. I get notes for like every movie, but
Oh, that's
the Nun I think was the one that I had like
Yeah.
most notes.
Also, like for me, I
Yeah.
really enjoy like I'm not religious in the slightest, but I really
Yeah.
enjoy biblical demons in horror
Yes,
settings.
yes. Because there's like this the element of desecrating something that is supposed
Yeah.
to be saint, something that isn't supposed to be evil. That's what gets me like specifically in these type of movies. Like of course you have like the whole faceless nun, the visions, the whole
Yeah.
thing, but the whole fuck, I forgot the name.
And I feel like the atmosphere of the Nun is really good. Like the abandoned
Yes,
monastery is
yes.
a great setting for it.
I
Wait,
thought the
hold
sound
on.
design was quite good as well.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
This was all good.
That's really a thing throughout the entire Conjuring series, with the possible exception of the first Annabelle film is a bit iffy on the
Yes.
sound design.
Hold on. I want to know something here. Let's say that we are in a horror movie, guys. Okay. Let's say that let's say that we are on the in the Nun. Okay. Let's say that
I'm dead.
the
I'm
the
dead, I'm
Catholic Church
Yes,
the
this-
side-
I am the character that
Besides-
runs
Oh,
away
wait.
and
That's
dies
fair.
in the first minute.
So
You
I
get
was just
to
looking
a
at the
place
Conjuring trilogy.
that is
Is this chronological? Like through time?
Not really. There's a bit of time jumping between them. Like
Yeah.
the Annabelle films go. I think
No,
the
but I mean,
first
I'm
Annabelle
saying,
film
so
is
the Nun is
In the
the
chronological.
oldest
50s
one,
or
and then
something.
they like progress through time, the different
Yep.
films.
yes. But like,
Nun
let's
is
say that
based at the
they
beginning.
send us in that church. Okay. You guys see a
We're all
door.
fucking dying.
No, yeah, of course. But you get to a church that is basically like you can feel in the air that something isn't wrong there. There's a room with an incision in the door that says God ends here. Like, come on, why didn't people like decide to blow this place out already?
Yeah,
Like
just
the thing for
it.
me is like, yeah, like the war pretty much already did like the big damage. Let's just
Yeah.
finish the job and keep everything sealed.
Yeah.
And another thing, like
I'm
if you
surprised
know
the church is
that
still
like
there
a
after communism.
demon has been summoned in there, and you have to constantly do a cycle of praying to always keep him at bay. Maybe the church should keep like maybe a little bit more attention to that place.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Let's let's just send like a priest and a soon-to-be nun there. Just to see how it's going.
I think it's more of the the churches like lost their way and they've forgotten all the old evils and
Maybe it
I-
could,
I
no,
think-
I think it
like one of the very common things in in terms of blow it up. I think it's not, but it's like generally agreed upon. It's not like fact, but it's generally agreed upon that it's like it's in a holy place and the place like kind of protects it, like keeps it in check so it can't leave.
yeah.
So yeah, it becomes a very evil place, but at least it's not gonna
They
go and
did
murder the
say in
Italian
the
countryside.
film that they did say in the film that the crosses around the place containing the thing, the
Yeah.
evil.
Yeah, but even there, like that's a little, that's just a nitpick. But technically speaking, the if there are like a lot of crosses and Christian elements and everything, they like demons should not be able to
Yeah,
do stuff.
unless it's a strong enough demon. I think. that's
Yeah.
the word. I am not a demonologist in any.
No,
shape
me
or
neither.
form.
But that's
Yeah.
just something that I like to like. There's this very interesting video on YouTube on the channel that it's called Horses, and it's about like exorcism and stuff like that. And they go throughout the whole process and everything. How like the official way that the Catholic Church does it. And like when I was watching the movie, I was like, I don't know, maybe.
Why is this only a
maybe they
Catholic
should've-
thing, bro? Why do Protestants not get on?
No,
on this?
technically they do, but like an official manuscript is like only the
Yeah.
Catholics have. Like,
And there was actually like there was a big religious problem during the Salem witch trials things, because there was like accusations of people being possessed, and they couldn't use the Christian way of like exorcising the demons. That's one thing that's explored a lot in like pop culture surrounding the Salem witch trials. Is like there are people secretly learning the Catholic way, and then they get executed for that while the demon remains free, kind of thing.
mhm. I see.
European Christian history is very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, very, very.
I found
Very
it
much so.
interesting that of all places it took place in Romania.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
You think
I
so?
remembered it was.
To be fair, I was kind of
Yeah,
expecting
yeah, the movie
vampires
was
with
in-
like the
It
monastery.
it took place in Romania.
And nobody
Well,
said, "I want to suck your blood."
I feel like
Yeah, and
scary
the-
stuff always
I
happens.
was surprised
in
how
Romania.
how they even got into Romania in the first place. If they flew in by plane, when Italy on this side of the Warsaw Pact and Romania's on that side of the Warsaw Pact.
True.
Travel's a bit of a problem.
I seem to remember there were like certain freedoms to like religious entities during the
Yeah.
time.
I'm surprised
Because obviously there was the
banned
thing
religion.
of like, yeah, but there was the thing that religion was completely separate from the government in most countries, so it wasn't as regulated.
Mm.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
something
that was
that
one
I
thing
really
on my
enjoyed
head.
as well was the ending. Like
Oh yeah,
when you get to see that
hated
Frenchie
that.
is the guy from the first movie. No, that's
Oh, I
that
didn't
that
know
was such a
part.
cool throwback.
yeah.
I just hated the fact that there was that stupid fucking cross that, like, it was like, when the movies are like seem like
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
over, but then they tease that sequel at the end. I hate that
Yep.
so much.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah,
the
but-
sequel to The Nun is terrible.
Yeah. But unfortunately, that's kind of like the whole like horror movie ends like that. Like
Yeah,
you can't have like a good ending. You always have to show that
Kill
something
everyone.
did not go as
Make 'em all die.
good as people thought. Yeah,
the only thing that kind of like ends properly is The Ritual, which is another great horror film, and I think I seem to remember Hereditary kind of also ends, quote unquote.
Mm.
So they're clearly not planning on a sequel.
yeah. But,
On a
but
side
even
note,
there, I,
Animate,
I
if you
think that
haven't seen The
it's,
Ritual, I would recommend watching it. It's great.
I'll see it. I'll check it out. Like The Nun, I think it's definitely there, up like in the best horror movies
Yeah.
ever. Like I would say that the first Conjuring is, I prefer at least the first Conjuring compared to The Nun.
Yeah, the first
I think
Conjuring
that-
is great.
Yeah,
Have
but
you
it's
sorry to belt in.
Sorry.
Have you guys heard of the phrase dramatic irony?
Yes,
dramatic. I no,
Yeah,
I
they
don't
used a lot of that in the movie, which I found cool.
I mean that's very
That was the-
common in horror.
That
in
was the
general.
one thing
Yeah.
I remembered from drama GCSE of
My
taking it for 4
God.
years.
think.
That was the one
Oh,
thing I
let's
remembered
go.
the entire time. I literally did not pay attention to drama. That's it. I was there just to get a free period, basically,
Nice.
because we didn't do fuck all.
But if you had paid more attention, you could have been such an incredible voice actor in your videos.
Indeed, Speedy.
Yeah, I don't do voice acting. I can do that.
You get us to do it instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could do the death. I could make the sound of a demon, but like, Animate makes a perfect beta male.
Incidentally, for
It
me,
is-
like The Nun is one of those films that's been kind of on my the back of my mind. Like because of it, I kind of want to do a video on like demons in anime.
Ooh,
Could be
okay,
interesting.
that's cool.
Demons
I
in
was-
real life, super
Do like a
scary.
Halloween
Demons in anime.
thing.
I want to hit that from behind.
If you did a Halloween, I'm sure it could do good. People always
Yeah,
lose
because
stuff.
like I was thinking that when Vermailing Gold came out, because she's literally the only good thing about that series, and she's a fairly well done succubus. And I was like,
Yo,
I'm kind
bro,
of
if you did a
thinking like,
succubus in anime series, bro, that would pop, bro. You'd get coolers
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
That
Speedy
would-
all over it.
No, but there's such
What
cool
was that
like
first?
horror elements in certain
Yeah.
mangas that like I hope that like people get to see more.
I'm
And,
just super excited for the Junji Ito one, the Uzumaki.
Ooh, yeah, I can wait for that.
It
as
looks
well.
so
I can
good.
wait for that.
Looks so
Yes.
fucking good.
I know that I know consumer would say something around the lines of "Don't get your hopes up," you know.
Yeah.
But
Manga's
I don't know.
better.
I
That's my
yeah.
opinion.
Oh, that's for sure. That's for sure. That's
Yeah.
no, but yeah. But again, like everyone else, what would you say that The Nun is like your favorite movie?
I think it is the fact that it's part of the like resurrection of horror, and then it has the great balance of horror with as much comedy as you can put into a horror film,
Yeah,
while still maintaining the horror feeling of it.
Holy shit!
I see.
And as well as the whole setting is just incredible. I was gonna say immaculate, but I wasn't sure if it's the correct word. But yeah, it's an incredible setting with the old abandoned monastery, and like I feel like they play to the setting as perfectly as they possibly can.
Yes.
And I think that's why it's in terms of horror, it is tied with Annabelle Homecoming, but again, that might have been too much for Speedy because that's on the higher end of horror, I think.
You know what? I actually didn't get that scared of this film.
Okay,
It's
perfect.
also-
So
okay, now
let's
we
do
have
a
to do
group
a-
next
watch
episode we
of
can watch Annabelle
Annabelle.
Homecoming.
Now
we
I
have
have
to
to watch
like
Annabelle
a reaction
Homecoming.
episode where we just cut
I
up
don't-
Speedy's reactions to Animal Homecoming.
Please,
Because
let's
I
do
spent
that.
half the time laughing too much at the jump scares.
I actually have a friend who's in a wheelchair, and he said that Annabelle Homecoming is one of the greatest depictions of horror for him ever, because the main character can't walk properly.
Oh, that's a really good thing to base it around.
Yeah, I think the only
Yeah.
other horror film I've seen is Chucky, and the only scene I remember is when they throw Chucky into the incinerator.
Oh yeah,
No,
Chucky
man.
is
That
Chucky
is
is on the
I hate the
comedic
Chucky
side of
movies.
horror.
Yeah, and then Scary Movie with that guy who fucks the clown. That's one of the fun.
There's a
Okay.
relatively recent Chucky film as well, isn't there?
I think that there's a series like on Netflix.
Yeah, I've watched. There's one about like rat poison and something.
Rat poison.
Like he puts rat poison into someone's chili in the new film.
I never was a big fan of Chucky
Yeah,
because
there's Child's Play in 2019. That's the one I'm thinking of.
white people don't just throw away the doll. That's
Yeah,
something I never
like-
understand. Like,
They gotta
Like,
keep it. It looks
burn
good.
it, throw it
Yeah.
in the fire, something like that.
With Annabelle, it
Donate
makes
to a
sense because it's
church.
like with Annabelle, it makes sense because
No,
there's
Annabelle,
a
it
very
makes
powerful-
sense.
There's a very powerful demon in the doll, and it's the demon doing the shit, not the doll. But in
Yeah.
Chucky, it's just a doll with a knife shanking
Yeah.
people's ankles.
Oh my god.
British, not a British.
British
London
doll.
Ardol. London Ardol.
British
Oh my God.
demon.
POV
Unit,
London
brother.
Special Forces.
Yep, Chucky. But yeah,
Oh my
that
God.
was our talks about our favorite films of all time.
Yeah.
Wait, how long is
Over-
this
over-
episode? It better not be an hour long. We need to extend by
over an
another
hour.
30 minutes. Okay.
I think we're over an hour.
Yeah, I think we're
Speedy's
over an hour.
obsessed
But
with that hour mark.
Bro,
yeah,
we got-
anyway,
What's the point of
honestly-
a podcast if it's only 57 minutes long? Come on.
honestly, I
think
really
it's
enjoyed
our
all the
shortest
films.
Same.
Like, there is something in everything. The Italian Job was probably my least favorite because it's just I was watching my Twitter on
Was
my
it just
phone
'cause
while
it
they're
was my
driving around.
suggestion? I know
No,
you're
it was because they were
biased.
they were
Too much
driving
oi
around way too
bruvs.
much. Yeah, too much oi bruvs.
Too much British people.
Not enough shanking for a British film.
This was before the shanking problem.
I assume. I think that like this also help like us understand like each other a little bit more, like knowing why we enjoy these movies and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
that's
So
true.
that's also like a pretty cool element on the whole fun side of the episode.
Yeah.
Well, I would have put Cars, but she said he wouldn't refuse to watch it. So
I would refuse to watch Cars.
yeah, Cars 2 is like another good movie, but like she says like no, I'm refusing.
I
to watch
don't
it.
like Cars 2, honestly. I think the first one is better.
Yeah.
I have not seen a
Cars.
single one, and I never will. If
You know,
we ever hit a
the-
million subs, I will
canonically-
watch the Cars trilogy.
Could you imagine if Cheese
Canonically-
watches the Cars
canonically
movie and then he
speaking,
becomes
that's it.
like obsessed with cars?
Oh god.
Oh, that'll be hilarious. Now, canonically speaking, there is an IRA in the Cars universe.
Oh my god. let's
Isn't the
maybe
911 in it as well?
Yes.
Which is
That
even
al-
worse given that the planes are sentient.
And also, there could actually technically be a Conjuring in the Cars universe.
One thing I'm really surprised by actually is that the Conjuring series hasn't gone to Amityville yet. Because
true.
Amityville is just such a well-known thing. I'm very surprised it's not in the Conjuring series.
They mentioned
I think-
Amityville in this film.
Have
Yeah,
you-
they
did
do. They
you-
mention it, but they've never gone there.
But
Have you-
there are
did
so
you
many
guys
cases
find out
that
see cocaine
Lauren
there
and Ed
last year?
Warren like have done, and like they have decided to not do a movie about it.
Yeah.
Like I think they're just going with the big ones, but even there, it's
Yeah.
Did you guys see Cocaine Bear when it came out last year?
No.
no.
Oh, it was quite funny.
So I think that's it for today.
And next week is the
Some
music
Rage
thing.
episode, is
Oh,
it?
Rage is next week.
Yeah, Rage, yeah.
Rage is next
Rage
week, and
episode.
then,
Oh,
then we
okay.
do music things. We've prepared 5-song playlists for each other that we've listened to. And we're going to talk more about music because people kind of seem to like that music episode, I seem to remember.
Yeah.
And
so.
we enjoy music.
Yeah,
A lot.
I less so in terms of like how much I listen to it, but I still like music.
yeah.
And I can't make music, but
If we
Everyone can
if we
make
it
music.
to 1 million subs, we'll do a hentai episode.
Oh my
Oh yeah,
god.
that was the thing. Consumer agreed that if we ever hit 1 million subs, we'd do an entire episode.
Ah, for real? Okay, that's
when we
the goal.
started, no?
Okay.
Send the podcast to your friends. Make sure that we can
Yeah, let's
get
do
a
1 million
million.
subs.
Yeah. Hentai. Let's go.
It would
How
be
long
so
would it
funny if like
If Speedy convinces his mum to let me stay over at his house and we watch it together.
Oh, okay,
Yo,
okay.
The only one I'd be willing to let into my house is Animate.
No.
Oh,
There
okay.
What
is.
do you mean, man?
No,
Hey,
this is for
Animate, you've
like
got the pass.
this is for the one Finnish person ever watching this. If Consumer and Speedy are gonna watch hentai together, there is a famed Finnish thing called Taistelu Jaska, which is done after the original old school He-Mans, and there's a scene. Katsotaan miesten kesken pornoa ja käsiemme seikkaa toistemme housuissa. And go translate that if you will. It's very
Oh.
funny to the Finnish audience, and it's a classic.
I hope that YouTube's gonna put subtitles there.
We just
Auto-translate.
But yes, this has been us. Do let us know in the comments below if you've seen these movies. What did you think? Do you think we chose poorly for our favorite films? Do you think your favorite is better than anything we chose? And do let us know what is your favorite Ghibli film, because everybody loves Ghibli.
Not me.
And with this, that has been us. And now, goodbye. We shall see you next
Goodbye.
time.
Oh fuck! I've got shit in the background. Shit. Oh well.